Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. We're starting out a fresh series here. Um, After the Imperials took over the Elarian System, all the inhabitants had to run for their lives, and have now become stranded between systems. So, right now, we are in the middle of space, literally lost in space. So, we have our little life pod here, and yeah, that's what we have to survive with. Little temporary ship. Um, got enough resources, as you can see right here, that we can make a few things. We can get a med bay up and running. We can get a arc furnace up and running, an assembler, but not a lot to work with. We got one hydrogen thruster. So yeah, apparently this is also a hostile area too. There's pirates and players alike. The map this time around is a weapons free map, so everyone is the enemy. And resources are fairly scarce. As you can see, not a lot of asteroids. I mean, there's a few over there, but yeah, we are lost in space. So, first thing to do, we need to get this thing retrofitted. Um, but we also need to make it a temporary, not a temporary ship anymore. So, gonna get started on that. So, let's get to it. So, I got a merge block down. Got a little control panel on it too. We're going to convert this to station. So that way we can merge this grid to a station and not have it be a temporary anymore. Now the question you're asking yourself is, how's he going to get them to merge? He's got one thruster and it's pointed in the wrong direction. Well, that's where this little hatch comes in. We have a parachute hatch on the front of this that we don't need. At least right now, this second. So what we're going to do is we're going to build another hydrogen thruster on the front of this guy. And then we'll be able to go in reverse. If I have enough resources. What am I missing? A large steel tube. Okay, well, we'll just steal it from this one back here. And now we have a front thruster. So we're gonna back this guy up. And there we are. We are merged. So we are now a station. So we'll get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. And we'll leave this as a station for the moment. Turn off that thruster though. And get a group going because we're going to need our thrusters. Get that on our bar. Don't need you. We'll get the group there instead. On and off. You're gone. So, there we are. And it helps if I turn them off. There we go. So, thrusters are off. And now it's time to start actually doing something with this. Because we need a way to respawn. We need to get some basic refining up and running so we can head over to one of those asteroids. So before I start traveling around and all that good stuff, we're going to get this pod prepped as much as possible so we don't attract any attention from pirates or any other players. That way we can go right into mining and run away if we need to, because until we have magnesium in a refinery, we have no way to shoot back except with our rifle, and that's not going to last very long against, anything. So I'm going to start stripping this down, and replacing some of the parts. And I'll see you back here in a sec. So here we are, and as you can see, I was able to get a bunch of work done on it. Got a med bay on here. I moved the cargo back here for the moment. Got my assembler. I even got an upgrade on it. I built 2 arc furnaces because I need to get basic refining up and running as quick as I can. Um, got a rear thruster on here, so I got forward and reverse. I did build an ore detector. The nice thing with the little life pod is the bottom of it, where the merge block is, those are heavy armor blocks, so they provide you metal grids. So I broke down about 20-25 metal grids to give me enough nickel to make a couple extra motors and ore detector components. So able to get that, so now we can actually properly scout. We can go forward, we can stop. Once we get a little bit more in the form of resources, we'll get thrusters pointed in the rest of the directions on this. But first and foremost, we need to start hitting up asteroids. Now, I'm not going to start a base right away, because actually, I'm in a faction. So, my faction base is, let's see, headquarters is 500 kilometers that way. So, that's a long ways, especially since, well, I already know ahead of time none of these asteroids are going to have platinum on them, which means I won't be able to make superconductor components or a few other things. So we're going to be stuck with hydrogen for a while. There is platinum on the map, but the platinum is, I think, like 550 kilometers in that general direction. So we'd literally have to pass headquarters in order to get to it. Um, so, yeah, we're going to have to run hydrogen for a while, unless we can take out some NPC pirate ships and, yeah, steal their thrusters, which we may try to do. You know, my goal right now is to meet up with the rest of the faction. So I'm out here all alone. They're way over there. So I'm trying to get myself there without getting killed in the process. Um, so I'm gonna start heading over to some of these asteroids and trying to get some mining done. So I'll see you over there. Okay, so we made it to the first asteroid, and this is why I make a large ship ore detector. Because it's easy to miss stuff. Like down there, we actually got some magnesium. This is the first asteroid that I went to. You know, we were just over there a few minutes ago. So all I did was just fly over here, kind of get myself centered in the asteroid so the ore detector would have the complete range and it would show me everything. So we got some silver over here. We got some gold on the outside over here-ish. There it is. And we got some magnesium down here. So, all in all, this should be a pretty good place to grab some initial ore. Now, we are going to waypoint this, but we're not staying here. That I think is like the one big thing that a lot of people do, but really you shouldn't, because it actually hurts you more than it helps you. Because until you know and have been able to gather some ore, all the ores you need, then all you're doing is just planting your flag at the first asteroid you find that you can hide in, and then you're spending hours flying tens of kilometers away looking for that one ore. And then when you need more of it, you gotta fly 20 kilometers to go get it. And it's frustrating. And I don't know why people do that. For me, the best thing to do is mark your asteroids, and find all of your ores first. Once you know where all of your ores are, where you have good mining locations, then look at your GPS points that you create, and then, you know, if you're going to live in an asteroid, find one that's kind of centered in your GPS points. So that way you're going the minimum amount of distance to all of them as much as possible. So, normally what I do, I grab about 10, 20k of each ore, and then I move on. I start checking out the next asteroid and let it start refining up and everything. Because by the time I get done sorting all the asteroids, I've gotten a reasonable amount of ingots at that point that I can get going on basically any project I want. Right from the word go. Whether I want to make a space station or a ship or make a base in an asteroid, I can literally go any direction. So, that's how we're going to play this time around when it comes to survival. We're going to go scouting, and then we're going to go from there. We're not going to set down roots immediately. So, I'm going to get some mining done. I'm going to grab some of this gold, silver, magnesium, get some iron going so I can get some plates, and get a refinery up and running, slap that down on here, and yeah. So, I'll see you in a second. So, good news. We've found a few ores. Got uranium, silver, and nickel over there. That was the one we were at last, which was silver, gold, and magnesium. Came across this little guy, which is cobalt, ice, and magnesium, which is awesome because since we're hydrogen, we're going to need all the ice we can get. So I'm just getting a bunch of extra ice for our ship just so I don't have to worry quite as much about scouting. But next, we're going to head over to that donut because it looks like there might be some more ice or cobalt over there. And we're going to head over there, there, and there. And that's only if we end up needing to, because I got silver, gold, magnesium, uranium, and nickel. I got cobalt here, so we pretty much have quite a few of our bases covered already. But I do want to go scouting for a couple other potential good locations to mine. And then we'll get started on building this guy out more so we can make the long trek home to meet up with the rest of the faction. So this is gonna slowly evolve into a ship of sorts that can carry all of our components, carry a couple small ships, defend us. It's gonna be our mobile ship, refinery, construction, everything. So I'm gonna get back to mining and see what else I can find. Okay, so good news. We found silicon over here, got some ice over there, and I finally made some upgrades. Now that we had nickel and cobalt, it could make metal grids, so now I have thrusters. And since I found a nice patch of ice, where was it? Over there, I decided, why don't I just get the thrusters on here finally? Because now I can mine ice. And I swapped out that front thruster and put a drill on. So now I have 69,000 in there, 93,000 in there. And I got my arc furnaces refining myself some more nickel and cobalt. Still got some iron. So, next thing on the shopping list is actually building this out some. So, that's going to be our goal next time. We're going to continue to convert this over time, build it up, turn it into an actual real large ship, I think. And maybe get a landing bay in there, get a bridge, get some weapons online, and just kind of build it over time as we head on home to our headquarters. So by the time we get there, we should have a pretty nice ship. and hopefully we can get some ions on this by finding some pirates and punching them in the face, especially now that we have magnesium. But one last thing I want to show you guys, as I was saying, uh, that roid is, almost 2 kilometers away. That silver, gold, magnesium, that's 7.5 over there. We're at this one. 11 kilometers there, 6 there, 7 there. I mean, those are, that's it for the GPS points of me searching around. So, you know, I didn't have to go all over reality in order to find basically all the ores. So, I have a reasonable mining ship because of it now, that I can respawn at. So, no worries there. It's hydrogen powered, which, is nice for thrust, but it's got a drill on it, so I've taken core samples of everywhere. I got a reasonable amount of ore to start with. Got uranium, magnesium, gold, silver, silicone, got nickel and cobalt refining. So, I mean, at this point, and this is what I was talking about earlier, at this point, I can literally go any direction I want because I started by grabbing core samples. And now that I have all those core samples, I can build a refinery, I can build reactors now, I can build heavy armor, I can build weapons, I can make ammunition, and I'm basically, just a beefed up starter ship is all. But I can build a base, I can, build a capital ship, I can build small ships. Um, so, sky's the limit right now. All because I started out by focusing on get and find the ores first, get some, and get it refining. So that way I have parts. And parts to let me actually get going. So, because we're not going to set down roots out here, we're going to head to headquarters. We'll probably mine up some more of the local resources, kind of get ourselves established with a couple refineries, and enough ore to keep them occupied for a while, and then we'll build over time. So, thank you all for watching, and if you liked this, leave a like on the video, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.